Without a moment's waste, Dom spent days studying his maps again, and a few more evaluating the terrain for various projects that appeared in his mind. Anyone that saw him would note that a lack of motivation wasn't the issue, especially with the copious amounts of coffee he drinks. It was a meticulous planning that got in the way. What needed to take precedence, and which project would fit best in the various locations noted. It was clear that some things needed to be built before others, and the most important would be food. A place for visitors to temporarily stay should they choose to come visit came in a close second, so it was decided. The first few priorities Dom would spend much of his time working on for the next few days would be preparing the land for a vast farm large enough to feed many towns over, all in the meantime while also preparing a place for travelers to stop and rest. But not for Dom. There was no rest for him, with all that he had planned and imagined. What's up everybody and welcome back to the Obsidian Order SMP. I'm in a wheat field, not that that matters, so let's roll the recap. I spent a large number of days working on the farmlands, mostly the wheat fields. And a good portion of that work was changing the terrain. There was a nice downslope towards the main path and it would give a nice visual effect of the vastness of this wheat field. So I thought that improving upon that would make it even better. And of course there was the tilling of the land and planting all the seeds to create the wheat. But of course I didn't have all the seeds that I needed, and especially all at once, so a lot of the in-between times that I had in collecting seeds was spent on building up walls that would border the farmlands. And I did this by using a variety of different cobble blocks and building up cobble wall sections across that border. But I didn't want it to be all cobble blocks. I wanted to break up that color and pattern with some oak fences because it just made it look even better with a variety of color and shape. But that also needed to be broken up with a little bit more color and variation, so I decided to plant down some oak leaf blocks to do that, which also made it feel very rustic in ways, and just like this old wall that existed there for quite some time. To push the details a little bit further, I decided to bone meal a few spots along the wall as well. And of course, there was tons of back and forth during this work, some of which was spent going back to where my temporary home was, where I had built up a sheep farm to collect different colored wools, and I tested out a small automatic wool farm first in this spot. And I was just collecting wool, going back and forth, working on the fields, and coming back to the sheep farm. And that wool that was being collected, of course, was being used to build up another location for our travelers. I decided to build up this traveler's outpost, or a rest stop of sorts, where visitors visiting my territory could come, get some rest, sit down, rent a horse, and I felt extremely motivated to get this particular project done because of the theme that I had chosen for it. I'm super proud of this one. It's turning out really well, and even though a lot of the work that we had just mentioned is still unfinished, hopefully we can at least finish one of these projects today. So let's see what we can do and take this a little bit further. So, I'm wearing my helmet indoors today just because I don't want you guys to see the bags under my eyes, but it's been a crazy couple of days. I'm super exhausted, and I was scared that I wasn't going to be able to get this episode done in time, but we've done it, and I hope you guys enjoy. I feel like I need more coffee. Anyways, yeah, back to the show. Thanks for listening. And look at these fields. This is getting really, really big, and it's cool. And I do kind of like the fact that we did those slabs in between the different elevations because it will protect the crops a little bit if wild animals or just other players go through the field and they drop down to the next block level. It won't destroy that block, that farmland block. But if they're running and jumping, that still is an issue. Yeah, there's no avoiding that, unfortunately, but it's looking pretty good, and I like the way the hill is just popping right over the top of the wheat field when you're right down here at this level. I've also created this path along the outside of the farm in case, we need to travel around it, that there's a clear-cut path for where to walk. And it kind of gets a little bit wider up here. I'm not sure what to do up here. I may just widen the path, or I may just create sections of wall to kind of make it look like a boundary. And I've got to continue it around somewhere here too as well. So this might be an interesting spot to maybe put either some pumpkins or maybe a scarecrow or something, or maybe just some farm equipment like a plow or something, or maybe even a wagon for crop. Put some hay barrels on top of a wagon, might be interesting. So going off of this row here, I can go 1, 2, 4, and then just dig out another hole. And this is going to allow me to keep expanding it, just like we've been doing all this time. But I've got to go and get... Oh, that's a problem there. Is that going to dry out? Okay, we see them kind of changing color a bit. You can see that spot's a little darker. Okay, there it goes. Eventually, that far one right over there is either going to dry out or it's actually going to take the water. And it technically shouldn't, but surprisingly enough, it hasn't turned into normal dirt yet. Alright, here we go. I am super excited for this. These are the lost woods that lead over to the old tower. We've got our sign here, which eventually will have to be updated, of course. And then this, our traveler's rest stop and horse stables. Public horse stables. It's taking shape, and maybe some of you might recognize it, and maybe some of you will not, but I am very inspired by The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for this build. And I am doing the public horse stables from that game for here. You will walk in on either side. In the center here you have a front desk to, I guess, rent a horse. You can go inside. There's going to be the inner portion of the desk. We have the chandelier lighting that goes through the center of the entire tent. There's going to be a sleeping quarters back here. And I really don't know if I want to add a door here, which will lead straight out to the horses back here where they all are at. Or if I should just keep this shut and do like a little kind of like market situation, like on the floor with some carpets, and then over here a little crafting section for travelers. Can now actually finish these corners out here. So I believe this is going to be a stair, so is that. We're going to place slabs right up here. We're going to place another 2 set of stairs here with slabs underneath. Is that right? And then I think we need trap doors somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. But we're just going to put some dirt blocks here to make a little step up onto the roof. And I believe the front sections are going to be the acacia planks. Slabs. There we go. How did I design this? I think this is going to go straight across. And then it's going to go up from there. So we're going to just build in a step up there. Oh, whoops. I fell and I misplaced. Right, so step up. And what's going to happen is we'll step that up again and we'll bring that around. And we're definitely going to need more than 60 slabs. Okay, so I have 3 wide at the bottom and 3 lesser wide at the top. Because the corners now have to take on a shape somewhat like this, I believe. Okay, interesting. Actually, now that I see this, we're gonna have to get rid of those. Oh, brother. I can't recall how I did this. Did I get rid of these like that? I don't feel like that's correct. Well, I guess I'll finish up this roof first, and we'll do the rest in a replay. Alright, check it out. Stables are all done, and I'm loving it. It looks absolutely great. Our first reiteration of our horse head was actually pretty bad, so I'm really glad that I went back and tried to push the details in it. I think it looks fantastic. And if you now know what this is from, or if you don't, I was inspired by The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I really liked all the stables that they have scattered across the lands in that game, and I felt like that would be a really cool fit for this area. We have some clerks here, so this is Varky, and then back there we've got Paddock, and they are characters from The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild as well. They work at the stables in the game. Currently we have a sign up that says Locaria Rent-a-Wreck, but this is temporary because I'll explain that in a little bit. And if we go over here, we have another sign actually that says renting of horses is currently unavailable. We need saddles. So I actually have to tame that horse and another one that's way over there. And I think a donkey too. There you go. Gotta tame some of those guys and put saddles on them so that they can be ridden. Right now I have Roach, which I need a name tag for as well. Right, so if you come over here to rent a horse, you can talk to Varky. And to talk to him, all you gotta do is click on the lectern. And he'll tell you, "Greetings, traveler. Welcome to temporarily called the Locarian Stables. My name is Varky. It's nice to make your acquaintance. To make your travels through Locaria more enjoyable, you may rent one of our many fine steeds. Please enter the corral to see if any are available. We only ask that you please bring them back before you return home. If you need to rest or collect your wares, please head inside and speak with Paddock. Safe travels, friend." And because our trap door here is at this height level, it just reacts to the book, which is kind of funny, but you know, whatever. It'll be fine. So, it just kind of explains you can go and take a horse from the stables, just bring it back. And if you want to take a nap or, you know, check out the inside, this is what it looks like. We've got 3 beds here with some nice awnings or whatever this is called, some covers, some mosquito nets, whatever, I don't know. But it's cool. There's some storage here. There's some little bookcases, a little table area, and a crafting area. And you can talk to old Paddock. And Paddock will explain to you, "Hello, weary traveler. How may old Paddock assist you? If you need a rest, please use one of our clean beds. Sit and rest your legs over at the table. Or feel free to use the crafting area to sort your wares. Just please don't make a mess. Old Paddock's bones aren't what they used to be. Hello there. What was I saying? Oh yes. If you need to travel about to visit the many locations spread across Locaria, speak with Varky outside about renting one of the horses. Unless you like walking, I suppose. Old Paddock can't walk far these days. What was I saying again? I think one of the horses ate my glasses. Alright, now the important part. I did mention earlier that this is temporarily called the Locarian Stables. But I've got 4 names up here on this sign. These names are from The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. We've got Long Stables, Elden Stables, Baron Stables, or the Lanayru Stables. I'm going to leave it up to you guys to decide on a name. So, whatever you guys choose, we will rename the stables, but other than that, I'm super happy with this. And once we rename it, I'll do a special lore story section for a video as well. But I'm really happy with it. It just looks so great. Hey there, if you liked today's episode, be sure to hit that like button, and if you really liked it, you can also subscribe. It's completely free. You can also let me know your feedback down in the comment section down below. I always try to respond to everybody. You can also check out the description of each video to find links to various things like my Discord, my Twitter, and a lot more. If you really want to show your support, you can hit the join button here to become a channel member. There are various tiers listed, and each tier will have different rewards. Whether you choose to like, comment, or subscribe, or even become a channel member, I look forward to interacting with you through my videos, and however you choose to show your support is very much appreciated. So thank you. Oh hey guys, I'm on the frame rate. So when our friends come out of the lost, not the lost woods, the dark woods over here, or what did I call this? Oh, that's the direction of the old tower through the haunted woods. Of course, the horse of a course. Anyways, let's go inside. Oh, creeper! Before that gets any closer. Go away! Ooh. Okay. Jeez. Right. Night of the Living Dead. Oh. Something stinky's over here. Oh, no! Give me that back! That's mine! Phew. Okay, I gotta watch out for that. That made me panic. I was gonna lose my sword. Are we good? Are we good? Testing. 1, 2, 3.